Women of Reddit, what things do men do that frighten you without them even realizing it? Happened few times. I was working late in small market with no one around, and when they come in and ask me if I'm not scared to be alone. Well, now I am, thanks. A guy I'm seeing took me out to a baseball game for our first date. It was nice, I didn't get any weird vibes from him at all. After the game, he asked if I wanted to go see some of the spots he likes to go walking. I didn't think much about it until we got there, and I realized he was basically taking me to the woods in the dark. He told me to follow him, and I'm thinking I'm about to get killed, but it turns out he just wanted to show me his favorite place to go on walks and chill because you can see the entire city from there, and at night it looks really pretty. He took me to a couple more trails that night, and I ended up having a great time and forgot that it's pitch black outside, and I'm with a guy I've never gone out with before out in nature. Definitely thought I was going to get killed at first though. I don't know why you're acting so cautious. If I wanted to kill you, I would have already done it. Said to me by a friend of a friend I was meeting because it was his first time in a foreign country. Not taking no for an answer. Especially when they pretend to be jokey about it, but you can clearly tell they're kind of pissedy, if that makes sense. I was walking through downtown DC on the way to pick up my son from daycare and had a guy stop me on the street to ask me for directions to museums. This isn't uncommon since I work in a touristy area, so I kindly answered his questions and was planning on keeping going, but he persisted. Oh, you must be a local. I just moved here from New York. Do you want to get coffee? Me, haha, no, thanks though, I'm not really social. Well, you're laughing and smiling, you could have fooled me. Me, no, thanks, I'm just awkward. I gotta go pick up my son now, thanks, bye. Why you have a son? How old is he? Do you live in the neighborhood? Let's get a drink. Me, haha, really, thanks, I'm gonna go now, the museums are that way, have a good day. And it is just uncomfortable that, like, me trying to be helpful and friendly to someone who was looking for directions turns into him not just once but twice persisting on asking me out. It's the kind of thing that makes me not want to be helpful to strangers because I don't know if you're asking me for real or if you're just trying to hit on me. Well, you're laughing and smiling. Yes, the thing most of us are socialized to do since birth and taught that it helps keep us safe and makes us more likable, and so we do it without thinking, and damn it if some of us aren't just pleasant, positive humans who aren't trying to attract male attention. I had a guy tell me the women he knew loved being catcalled because they always laughed and made jokes about it instead of telling the guy off. I'm like, dude, that's a defense mechanism to not escalate the situation and make the guy angry. It doesn't mean they like it even if they smile and laugh. They just don't want to get attacked. It's like a bar person who's good at joking with the belligerent drunk even as they're signaling for the bouncer to kick them out. Doesn't mean the bar person loves the drunk being belligerent, it's just the best way to deal with the situation sometimes when you're alone. You'll never convince him of this though. Guys that don't want to see it never will. Standing too close. How do you know if it's too close? I'll back up half a step, don't match it. Edit, wow, this blew up. Thank you for the awards, I've never gotten one before. Holy shit, don't match my step back please. Not going away when I have made it abundantly clear that I am not interested. Especially if they've gotten your phone number somehow and just keep blowing it up with calls, voicemails and texts. Years ago I went out with this dude, and during snacks and a drink, it was pretty clear we weren't a good match. I politely turned down another round and thanked him. I put my bag over my shoulder and began walking to the bar to pay. Not more than 2 steps from the table the dude yanks my purse strap and says, "What, no hug?" Really taken aback, I hugged him and shuffled quickly to pay and get out of there. As I was paying, I explained to the waitress whom I knew from another job that the dude was super creepy and asked if I could sneak down the back stairs. She let me go through and I rushed down the back stairs and then outside to my car. Breathing a deep sigh, I got out of the parking lot, and at the first red light at the corner where the restaurant was the creepy dude crossing the street. Without any hint of emotion, he whipped out a pen and wrote my license plate down on his hand. Never saw him again, that I know of. This reminds me of my friend's experience. She took her dog to the dog park and let him off the leash, no other dogs were there. A guy, with no dog, randomly enters the park and approaches my friend. My friend was trying to get her dog's leash back on when he grabbed the dog by the collar. First red flag, get your hands off of my dog. He says hi to her and makes small talk before asking for her number. She told him no and that she had a boyfriend, and he said okay and left. The next day though, she gets a text from an unknown number. This guy had looked at her dog's leash and somehow remembered her number from the tag. Unfortunately, her home address is also on the dog tag, so her and her boyfriend, who lived together, upgraded security heavily. She never answered the guy and he eventually stopped trying, but WTF? New fear unlocked. JFC. Guess I'm never putting my address on a pet tag ever again. Never been grateful that my cat is unpleasant, unapproachable until now. What a super creep. Yeah, your address on a pet tag is not a good idea. Better your phone hash and name address of vet clinic. Yeah, I've only ever been able to fit my husband's phone numbers on that tiny cat tag, but I've absolutely put an address on a dog's tag years ago. Not happening again. I like the vet info though. Pick me up. I'm short and have a slight build. It's not that I'm scared of them trying to prove how strong they are, I'm just terrified of being dropped. Gross. I'd forgotten about this. I was small in high school, and everyone would pick me up. They thought it was funny. Then I got old and fat. No one wants to pick me up anymore. Way to outfox them. Not accepting no or anything you explicitly outline to them. Also, demanding an explanation for that rejection. Physical intimidation. Standing too close to me or backing me into a corner and making me feel trapped. It puts me on the defensive so fast. Edit for clarification. I know some men do this intentionally, but many do it unintentionally. Often men don't realize just how uncomfortable or intimidated they can make women feel with their behavior and body language. I learned this in a body language leadership class. This is tactic bad bosses supervisors will use to bully employees, standing between the employee and the exit, causing people to feel trapped and like they have to agree to get free. I am sure if people start thinking about workplace interactions, this behavior will be quickly recognized as toxic. Sitting right next to me when I don't know you and there are plenty of other seats available. Some guy did this to me on a late night tram once, even though the entire compartment was empty. It seemed sketchy enough for me to get up, push past him and get off the tram, which was a great decision because I later found out that that dude had flashed and sexually harassed a lot of girls on that line before. Someone saying "where's my hug?" or otherwise trying to imply that they are owed physical contact. First date, didn't really know him. Comes to my apartment to pick me up, invite him in and he proceeds to tell me how he is going to rearrange the furniture when he moves in. Back in the 70s I always picked up hitchhikers, picked up this guy, he gets in then looks at me and says, "You know, you should really be careful about who you pick up. Guy I was living with, I know you will never leave me because you can't outrun a bullet." Lamau. I feel like the hitchhiker guy meant well, but the guy you were living with. Iker, the hitchhiker guy is legit worried about you. It's not frightening, per se, but it definitely makes me wary because it could lead to situations that are frightening. When talking to a guy, he's super pushy. Like, asking for pics of this and that, and even saying no, they're stilly pushy. All that makes me do is not want to meet him. If he's this pushy via text messaging, how pushy is he going to be in person? If he can't take no now, what are the odds he can take no in person? #X200B, I once had a guy demand that I rank my sexual partners. I told him no. I told him I can't and I won't. Dude flew off the digital handle. I blocked him right then. I once had a guy demand that I rank my sexual partners. Was he looking for recommendations? As in, did he want to duck them too? Well, if you like twinks, Jake's your boy, but if you're looking to power bottom, I should introduce you to Doug. So, about this Doug? Hovering. Don't hover behind me. That's one of the very few things that makes me nervous. I'd be nervous if some guy just floated up behind me too.